Hi, everyone. Good morning. This is Safia. So, I was reading this morning in my Sabbath school, the Sabbath school lesson. I'm a little bit behind. So, I think it was Wednesday's lesson I was on. And it was talking about, based on Psalm 78. So, I read Psalm 78, the verses that were selected there. And it's talking about how, um, the children of Israel, they were declaring the works of God in that psalm. And it said that they were to declare it to their children, the works of God, the dealings of God in the past, of God in the past. Now, it was in the light of worship. And I was thinking, we worship God, not just because of who he is, but because of what he has done. We worship, when we give testimony, even though it's like crickets on Sabbath when testimony time is there, but when we do, it's often because of what God has done for us in the week. And it's not a bad thing. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. So as I was thinking about, declaring the works of God to our children, the purpose being is so that we can create, because we worship God because of what he has done. What we are doing is that as parents, we are creating worshippers of our children. We want our children to be the true worshippers of God, because true worship comes from a heart of gratitude. It doesn't come from just singing and lip service. It comes from a heart of gratitude because of what God has done, the works that God has done in our lives. And so our job as parents is to make our children become acquainted, not just with the works that God has done in the Bible, but with what he's doing in our lives and in their lives each day, cultivating in them a heart of gratitude, cultivating in them a keen discernment to the blessings, the little things in the day that we overlook where God has blessed us. This will train our children into the habit of praise and gratitude. We want our children to be true worshipers of God. And so keeping in their minds the things that God has done for them in the day. It's so easy to count our troubles, our trials, and our stresses, but it's very rare, very seldom do we always have, the blessings of God on our mind. And one thing that I have implemented with my children is, in evening worship, is to, before we start singing and reading, we share the things that we're grateful for that day. And this keeps in mind that God is in control, that God has been leading, God is still with us, despite the other things that's happened. We should always the Bible says, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. And so I was wanting to take it a step further, because by the end of the day, when we have, looked back at our day, there's a lot of things we have missed because the day is so busy, especially in this house, it's very, very busy. So many things going on that it's so easy to miss those little things and take them for granted and just forget to give God thanks. So what I did, I want to get this over here. I decided to create this book here called The Blessings Book. And basically what this is very simple. It's cost effective. I got one of my son's exercise books, one which is blank. So his exercise book for school. And I just wrapped it up with wrapping paper, birthday paper. Okay, all you need is glue, sellotape, and the exercise book. It's really that cheap. And the Blessings Book is in the day, each family member gets to write out throughout the day, it encourages us, trains our minds to look out for blessings, to look out for God's hand. That's how we should be thinking throughout the day, seeking reason to give God praise, not just who he is, which that's reason enough, but the things that he's done. And so I wrapped it in paper as opposed to leaving it blank like all his other school books, because I don't want him to associate this as just a regular book. And also, I want it to stand out so we are reminded to write in this book. And so each member, whatever happens in the day, no matter how small, it could be, I was looking for something and I asked, well, where is it? I found it. Write it in the book. Whatever it is, each member gets to write it out. That's write a big story, but it's better to write it then than later on, because more than likely you're going to forget at the end of the day. Or if you do remember, it's not going to be as fresh, you're not going to put, the same energy when it happens. Okay, so you write it as you're excited about what God has just done. And then by the end of the day, you get to look back and discuss it. But by Thursday, so you do this Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all the way to Thursday. Now, by Friday, when it's time to welcome in the Sabbath now, you take this book and you spend special season of praise and thanksgiving over all the things that God has done throughout the week for you and your family. And you use that time to worship him, to just, and trust me, it's just going to feel so good that you're going to forget about all the troubles in the week. So by the time Sabbath comes and someone says, happy Sabbath, sister, how was your week? You'll be like, how was my week? Well, let me tell you. And you're there giving God praise. And before you know it, you're encouraging somebody else, empowering them, and just go, church is lit up with praise. Okay, so when testimony time comes, if every family did this, we'd have plenty. In fact, time will run out with it. The person who's leading out in testimony session will say, hey, we're gonna have to cut the short, do it for AYS. That's how it should be. Our whole should be brimming with praise. So if we want to create worshipers of our children, let them become acquainted, not just with God in the past, the men of old, but in our lives today, that he is a very present help in trouble. So that's my suggestion, idea to give to you parents, and let me know what you think. Let me know if you try it and how your family get on with it. So have a great day, and looking to speak to you soon with more tips, encouragement as women, as mothers, as teachers, as survivors. So many aspects to my life that I'm encouraged to share with you. So God bless you. Have a great day.